Hi, I'm Madhuvashini Lukuheva. It's very pleasure to give a word about you on your 12th lecturing anniversary. What I can say for sure is that you are one of the best lecturers I have met in my life as a professional student. So I am glad to say that I deeply understood every theory and concept with your teaching methods. Because of that, still I am use those techniques to my day-to-day life as corporate employee. Actually, I truly appreciate every single learning experience with you. Finally, I'm happy to say that you are continuing your service as a lecturer for the benefit of the future generations through the Sales Coach YouTube channel. Congratulations, Neville sir, on your journey. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chaitanya Udeshika. It's my pleasure to give a note on your very special day. Neville sir is one of the brilliant lecturers whom I met a couple of years ago, and I also happened to be his student when I was doing my professional studies in sales and marketing. I still remember his teaching style, which I could say is one of a kind. And he has this very energetic, enthusiastic lecturing style, and most importantly, he knows how to keep his audience to him. And it's very rare that we gets to meet such a lecturers in our life. And I will also like to mention some of the topics which I have learned, like sales process, forecasting and budgeting, client relationship marketing, which I have learned from him and still use that knowledge in my daily routine as well. Finally, I would like to say that I've been blessed to meet such a wonderful lecturer in my life and learn sales and marketing under him, because these are not for the academic purposes but for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Hi, I am Sumit Gayatunga. Thank you very much, sir. You made me a sales professional in this market. Congratulations, Neville sir. You are launching the Sales Coach new YouTube channel.
I'm Nadisha. In my journey of professional education, meeting you as a lecturer was a milestone where I learned practical sales techniques which made my life easier.
Hey, I'm Kanishka. I met you when I was learning ABCs of marketing as a school leaver. Your lecturing methods suited not only experienced professionals but also newcomers to the industry like me. I still remember your perfect examples, some of which were taken out of your own sales career. You taught us not the way we should survive, but the way of succeeding as a professional salesperson. I'd like to wish you success on the launch of the Sales Coach YouTube channel and your 12th anniversary as a lecturer.
So, anyone who wants to know and learn sales and management, here is the opportunity. Mr. Neville Pereira will be there to answer all your professional questions.
Hi, my name is Sachin Thani. I would like to say that it was a huge opportunity being trained by you as a salesperson. Your lecturing was very interesting and informative as a lecturer for 12 years, and I wish you good luck on the launch of the new YouTube channel, The Sales Coach.
I met our lecturer Mr. Neville Pereira in 2017. He's a corporate trainer and he's one of the best lecturer I met ever. He's a good mentor because he taught us not only sales marketing theory, he taught us how to use theory in practical scenario.
It was a time I met lecturer Mr. Neville Pereira, who was so encouraging and doing everything to keep us motivated and supported to get the right focus. Sir, your knowledge and leadership provide us with the priceless model for our own career. Sir, since you are a real model of my life, with your encouragement, I had the ability to move out for my corporate career.
Your name, please.
Neville Pereira,
What's your school?
St. Anthony's College, Vattalam.
Where do you live?
I live in Ragama.
Bit about your family.
I'm married and I have 4 children.
First job.
I started with Selinco, the Golden Key credit card company.
Mr. Neville Pereira is renowned sales and marketing consultant and corporate trainer. He is member of Chartered Institute of Marketing UK, member of Certified Professional Marketeer in Asia Pacific Federation, member of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, and also hold practicing marketeer status by Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing and Chartered Marketeer status from Chartered Institute of Marketing UK. Today he is celebrating his 12th year anniversary as a lecturer, facilitator and mentor. And meantime he is launching his very first YouTube channel, the channel called Neville Pereira Sales Coach. If you're still not subscribed, now onwards you can subscribe the channel. Don't forget the channel name is
Neville Pereira, the sales coach.
Well, first of all, I would like to ask from you, after your schooling period, why you selected this sales and marketing field as your career?
It's a good question. Actually, to tell you something, what happened was I never selected sales and marketing. That's the beauty of it. In Sri Lankan context, we all know that the direction towards your careers is very minimal. So even me after A-levels, I had a little bit of a period before going to the university, even though I know I'm being selected, but the universities are not ready or not started yet. So I started as a trainee, and meantime, I thought my line is finance. I wanted to be a chartered accountant, though I am a chartered marketer today. I wanted to be a chartered accountant, so I started classes. I got myself registered, all that. And then while studying this, I realized this is not my subject. Because since I was working as a trainee, I was interacting with customers, I see what's happening in the business world. I was into business, though I am a trainee. I saw this, what is called sales, is all about convincing, talking with people, meeting new people, very interactive, very interesting. I'm not saying finance is not interesting, with all respect to all finance professionals. I'm talking about myself. So I thought it's not going to work for me, and nothing went inside. So now I know I'm teaching. We all know now there are certain brain strengths we have. We have to understand our brain strengths, even for your children. I'm just telling for the parents. We need to understand the strengths of the children and drive them towards their strengths. So I think I found my strength later. So since it was not moving forward, I shifted towards marketing. Then I started studying on marketing, classes, education, but I never stopped working. Whilst working, I kept on working on studying and getting myself ready to the marketing environment. That's how it happened.
You said that your first job is at Selinco as a trainer. If the memory of it is it's mean how you feel your first job and what you did there, what is the scope of job there?
As a trainee at Selinco, I was a trainee field officer just after school. Within a couple of months after advanced level completion, I think even before results were out, I was selected. Actually, I basically applied everywhere, wherever that I see in the newspaper. Then at the same time, I got 3 final interviews. And of course, with my father's direction, he wanted me to go to Selinco because it was so reputed institute, organization. And then I was selected as a trainee field officer. So my job was to collect vouchers. Now its credit card business is so digital, automated, system driven, it's very structured. But as the initial debit card, customers sign the voucher, the manual voucher, you have to collect from the outlet or the establishment, and then you have to bring it to the office, and then you have to key it, and then you have to charge it from the client or the customer, and then you have to check, give the check or go and hand over the payment to the customer. So my job was, initially I was getting trained by a senior field officer, so training me, showing me the routes or the customers, retailers, introducing me to the retailers, and roads are new to me. It's motorbike riding, very tough, it's raining, so you get wet, it's hot sun, you wear jackets, and so it's very tough. But I thought, no, you have to hang on to it. And then we realized, when you look at it back again, we understood these simple processes as a trainee. So nowadays, what trainees need to understand is that is where you start your understanding the business environment, though whatever the job you are doing. We saw the managers, what they are doing, senior management, decision makers, and so how everything was happening. And also I have the experience of how senior officers trained us. Some people trained us very well with original or genuine thought process. Certain people did work. Some people didn't work in the field. As a trainee, I see that why not these people are not working. So those are lots of experiences. And also to add on to it, I remember when I became a field officer. So during that time, the universities were open, and I was going I was a student, and of course Selinco gave me that opportunity to study whilst working. So that was also, I should remember, and I should give that regard. And then I like my span of control or my territories started bigger than what I was doing. So then I had this thing called, every young salesman will get this today, the ego, that am I right on the bike, or is this my destiny. So but then I started, I go visit customers, but I never show the customer that I came on a bike. So my bike is parked somewhere else. So my jackets, helmet, everything is being kept there. And then I walk into the establishment, first of all I make sure that I am good enough to go near customer. And that experience, I always say that when you visit a hotel as an account, we'll say a star class hotel, I never go from the front office. I go from the back office. I go and speak to all those people who helps me in the process. Maybe an account clerk, maybe a cashier, whoever who helps me in this process, they all know me then. But that's not my job. My job is to go to the accountant, finance department, collect my vouchers, sign and give a receipt and come back. I spent little time with these people. So it was an experience, and today when I look back, it has really helped me, and this is what also we are teaching. So I would say that lesson I learned on my practical experience as a trainer.
If you talk about an unforgettable incident in your 20 years corporate life, I hope you have such a memory. Can we discuss about it?
Yes, Amit. Actually, it's a good question, because I always cherish my history, my working career experience. I always used to tell this in classes as well. I remember, so Selinco, my life was very much comfortable, Colombo, home to office, office to home. And then one of my clients actually used to visit my office. One day came and spoke to me. Then I was a field officer and promoted as an executive. I was in office at this job. So I used to speak to him because I have that feeling always I should speak with customers. So I very openly speak with this customer. He's one Sean Matav, I remember. He told me, I can't understand what you're doing here. You should be in sales. Why don't you come out for sales? So he invited me. So I said, yeah, why not? I like sales. Why not?
Sorry, where's the place that?
Then I was at Selinco.
Selinco.
So Selinco now was a field officer and promoted as an executive, a team leader. So it's a more of a desk job. So I'm in office. So I used to speak to customers who come to office. So this gentleman offered me something like that. Why not you come? I said, yeah, why not? I like, that's my interest. So then he said, why don't you come and see my CEO? So that is how I met Mr. Suresh Shah at Lamb Breweries. He gave me an appointment for an interview, for a discussion. So I went there. So then with the discussion, he offered me a job as a sales executive or marketing executive. Though it is marketing executive, it's all about sales.
Is that Land Brewery?
Land Breweries. So that is how I went into Land Brewery. And so there, also once again, I was very comfortable, Colombo life, settled down, youngster.
And I think you got a car.
I got a car, yes. That was another achievement for me. And meantime, my the dates were scheduled for the marriage and my wedding also happened. And during that time, suddenly, excuse me, Neville, your market is going to be outstation, not anymore in Colombo. That was shocking. I never worked in outstation. I was just thinking to myself, I'm going to take this challenge. I wanted to move out at one point, honestly. So this is not job going to be for me. I'm going to move out. So there were people who convinced me, no, that is not the case, because I was maybe immature. So today also we find these kind of cases, many cases in my consultancy work. I find a lot of cases like this. So then, however, I started working in outstation. The good thing is that outstation became extreme outstation. Extreme outstation because of some problems in that particular territory. When I was performing very well in a suburb, not outstation, actually it's a suburb. So then I can't say asked me, but was commanded. I was transferred to an extreme outstation where when you go there, you can't come for the roads, highways were not like this. You have to stay there for 2 weeks. And that was the time I wanted to move out, seriously move out. So I totally refused with my regional manager. No, I'm not going to be, I'm not the person. So I remember Mr. Gihan Maduragala, how he convinced me on that as well. So the story that you asked me, unforgettable incident, I went there to the deep south actually. And within 3 months, I changed the market. I totally changed the market. When I went there, I knew that there is a lot of things to do. So I thought it's opportunity for me. So I started working, just did the basics. I put the routes in place, distribution in place, merchandising in place, the sales representatives in their dress code, the way that they approach, the way that they go to the shops, how they approach, how they do their billing, how they do their convincing, how they do maintain their merchandising. I just did the basics. So you have to start from basics anywhere, whenever you go. So I started with the basics. Within 3 months, the market became totally different because that was not a problem with people or the market. It was a problem with simple fundamentals in sales. That may be sales, that may be distribution, maybe on-time delivery. So once everything got back, company realized things are getting better. And to tell you, Samit, I came to Colombo with a promotion. So I'm telling these youngsters today, you have to take the challenges. Yes, it is little backwards because you are not, you are in that age. So associate with good people who can give you good advice, who can give some good coaching, and you have to take those challenges in life. If you find all shortcuts in life, you will never be able to do anything. Because the other best part is that all these times I was studying. So my studying, everything happens in Colombo. But I never discontinued, even though I worked in outstation for about 4 years. But my things continued here. So everything continued. So likewise, I have many stories that I can talk. How you fight with the field managers in terms of delivering your strategies, how you have to negotiate with customers, how difficult. So those difficult customers became my best friends subsequently. So there are lots of stories that I can tell you on that, Samit.
So I think it's a very beautiful story behind his Mr. Neville Perera's story. And it's very much interesting to this younger generation who interested to come for this sales and marketing field today. Thanks. When I look onto your biometrics, I found a lot of status like Chartered Marketer UK, Certified Professional Marketeer, Practicing Marketer. My question is, how do you achieve this qualification while you're working? Simply work-life balance.
Yes, Anil, it's a good question. I think that is my game change also, because if you really look at, I never studied full time after my A-levels. So everything happened simultaneously. So nowadays we say that about multitasking. So multitasking is an impossibility. Yes, multitasking is impossibility. While we are talking here, we can't answer a call, we can't do something else. So we are seriously engaged in this discussion. So multitasking is not possible, not a possibility, but time management is a possibility. So if you draw a framework to manage your time, definitely we all know that you have urgency importance matrix. So I actually drew this. I had this on my table. I always tell my students also now, because I have mostly young adults, so they are engaged, they are family, they have children, they have work. So the question mark is, what do I do? Studying. So first thing to skip out is your education. So my advice is, don't do that. So that is your failure. You will regret in 3 years, not in 5 years, not in 10 years. I always say you will regret in 3 years. I could have done that. Why did I waste my last 3 years? So if you use this grid very carefully, very seriously, like we say that, you have to have your own SWOT with you. If you don't have your own SWOT, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you have to do to reach to your destination. So you're lost. You're just living. God has given you a life and you're living. So you don't know what's happening next. So likewise, if you use this, you can prioritize your work. You can put your high urgent, high important stuff in one quadrant where you have to work on it. And simultaneously, you can delegate certain work. You can or postpone certain work. So please postpone them. We do, number one thing what we do is that the thing that you can postpone. Maybe your marriage sometimes. I don't know, I'm just saying. We do the first thing which you can postpone. But you do last what is most important and urgent, but by that time you are a little too late. And also in this quadrant, low importance or zero importance, zero priority, you put it to dustbin. Don't waste your time on it. So this is my advice always. So multitasking is not a possibility, but it is a possibility if your time management framework works. So since you asked me about this qualification, so it's been 20-25 years now. So I've been studying right throughout. Even currently, I'm reading for an exam. So this in this process, over a period of time, you will get this. If somebody wants to be a chartered marketer today, no, you can't be a chartered marketer instantly. You have to work towards it. It will come if you work towards it. So I work towards it, and I continuously write my continuous professional development. Even last night I completed this next year's CPD, which can be renewed for next year. So these things are going without interruption, keeps me going. So that's where I am, and my advice is also on my 12th year anniversary day. My advice is, don't give up. Things can be done if you are organized. So organize yourself, do the best, you can do it. There is nothing impossible.
So it's a very good lesson to all of us. You have been a successful corporate manager for last 20 years. Why did you shift on to this lecture?
Once again, Samit, Good question. Lecturing was never in the list, honestly. I was, like I told you, working in many FMCGs, local companies, in multinationals, later on at Coca-Cola, subsequently at Bharati Airtel. But before getting into all that, when I was at the brewery, young, energetic, still it is there, but I'm saying, at that age, so when I was in the class, I should remind his name, Mr. Amita Gamage, one of my lecturers. I was really, actually, to say, I was troubling him. Some question, because maybe my අපි කියන්නේ කලේ හිස්සින්ද වෙන්න ඇති කියලා.
කලේ හිස්සින්ද වෙන්න ඇති සෙල වෙන්නේ.
ඒක හින්දා වෙන්න ඇති. So මගේ තියෙන මගේ අර පොඩි knowledge එක මම හැම වෙලේම එළියට දදා සර් නම් මේක කොහොමද එහෙනම් මෙහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද මෙහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද ඉතින් අර අපි එකට කියනවා අර මම කියනවා අර passion එකක්ද මන් දන්නේ සර් හරියට කරදර කරා
අර passion එක අර නිතරම
වදන්නවා ඒක. So I think okayදී one day I remember Mr. Abhita Gamage කිව්වා you shouldn't be there, you should be here. I said, sir, වැන්දලා කියන්න මට ඉන්න විදිහට ඉන්න දෙන්න ආයි නම් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්නේ නැහැ. මම මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ නිතරම කියන කතාව. So he recognized something in me. He recognized because he tells me there's some lecture today. I find more information about it next week and I come and ask on that. So you said like this and it is like this also. So I was questioning. So he liked it. So he liked that eager to learn, eager to study that particular thing. He liked it, I feel. So he challenged me. So I said, later on he was talking to me about it. He was mentoring me a lot. So I said, yes, why not? So that is where my interest came up. And I still remember when he introduced me to Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, I had a long process of interviews, demonstrations, demo lectures in front of the panels. So there were a lot of screening process. And then I was selected and I was offered. That was in 2007. And then when I was starting the first lecture, I remember the preparation that I did. So it was a 3-hour lecture. I think I would have prepared for continuously for 1 week, no doubt about it. So slide by slide, this is what I'm going to say. This is all about. If somebody asks me this question, because I know that how students are asking. Because I went through the same mill. If somebody asks me on this, what am I to say? Then you study on that. What am I to say? So it's not that I don't know the subject, but it's all about preparation to face any situation. So that preparation, I still remember how much I prepared for it. But after the lecture, I felt, did I go too much? That's a feeling. Always lecturers feel that after the lecture you feel, did I spend more time on preparation? But I always say, it is not a waste. It is not a waste. This is my experience. Even Maldives, some lectures I have been at the initial stages, my preparation, I spend a lot of time. But when I finish it, I feel, why did I spend so much of time? Even in Middle East, some of the programs, because I have not seen the audiences. So I'm going for the first time. So my preparation time is huge. But after the lecture, I feel that I could have even done it without any preparation. But that's a feeling only. But I never stopped this so-called preparation. And it was successful. And then later on, I was a trainee, kind of initial stages. Now I am a senior lecturer in Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, in CIPM. Is a human resource management body, but you have some marketing modules there. IIHS, International Institute of Health Sciences, which is a regional hub now for education of health science. So I do a lot of work with that as well. So at ACBT, Australian Institute of Education. So likewise, many institutes in Colombo, as well as some government institutes as well. So I've connected and it has become my part of life, and it keeps me going, and I'm so much happy about it.
So that's been do what you love what you do.
Exactly. That's what I always say. You do what you love, you love what you do, nothing will fail, everything will be fine.
What do you think about viral marketing?
It's like this. When you talk about marketing, so marketing is all about understanding the customer requirements and satisfying them. So how do you satisfy them? Then you have to find a medium. How do you reach to your customer? You have to have channels and also communication. So any organization, any product, you should have a proper communication medium. How do you take your message to your end consumer? So if you take as a whole this particular subject, viral marketing is another mode of communicating to your customer, to your segment, your target consumer. It's good. Your question, my answer in simple is yes, it's good. It's for as a marketer, what we need to know is that how do we manage that? What is the content that you take to as viral marketing? Because you know what is going very fast on viral and what is not going very fast on viral. So just because if you go into that wave, if you try to do viral marketing with the content which is not very receptive to the society, which is not very receptive to the environment, people, so then that viral marketing is I don't recommend. But viral marketing is always good as long as you can have a good reach to your target audience.
And what about your idea about these days is going these online studies? Is it good for Sri Lanka?
It's like this. My answer is yes, because we can't say it's no. Once again, it's new to Sri Lanka, and with COVID-19, it became a topic to discuss in Sri Lanka within us. Before that, even it was in existence. It is there. There are certain universities that you have exclusively online courses, even master's courses online. So there are courses with lots of restrictions, with lots of monitoring mechanisms, kind of monitoring system, just like your physically is there. So I know that lots of students, Sri Lankan students working abroad or migrated abroad, they do a lot of online courses. I do online coaching and helping them on their assignments, online work. So I help them out. So those are some other ways of that I am helping my students. So it's good. It's always good. And it will be the future as well, because with the penetration of telecommunication, the penetration of these so-called wireless data business, it will be the future as well, because the convenience factor will help to save a lot of time that you spend on the roads, and you put that time as well onto your class, and you can do some productive thing on your wasted time on the roads. So it will be the future.
And my next question is, what is your advice to this younger generation in Sri Lanka who would like to come to this sales and marketing fraternity?
It's a good question, Savita, once again. වැඩේ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කුමල්ලට දැන් ඕනේ කම්පියුටරේනේ. You know, then some you speak to some that's a generational situation. We can't blame anybody. That's not their fault. So job එකක් ඕනේ. මෙන්න vacancy තියෙනවා sales representative. එහෙම නෙමෙයි office job එකක්.
Correct.
So this is the scenario then. So we are talking about digital marketing, viral marketing. So everything is getting into the computer, the table, desktop, laptop, mobile phone. So with this scenario, the newer generation also try to start their work there. But I always say my sales guys or my students and the places where I am involved with the sales people, I always say, luckily we have still survived or saved our job position, salesmanship. Why? The salesmanship is the only element which brings revenue to the organization. If you look at the marketing framework, product, price, place, promotion, people, process, physical evidence, so on, so on. So all these elements are expensive, but the sales, yes, it's expensive, but you bring revenue. That's the only element brings in revenue. So the job is still protected, because this personal selling needs a lot of personal communication, lot of convincing, a lot of personal detailing, and it's a two-way. You ask questions and you have to reply, and you need to. It's a step-by-step convincing of the consumer, because you don't buy anything just like that. You don't buy whatever you want. You do a lot of evaluation. So all these evaluations and the decision-making process is supported by the salesperson. So it's a science. It's an art. You have to learn that. So my advice is that please take this hands-on experience. It will help you even in online. Now, if you look at a video how to do something better, you go and see there are also videos how to do this better, how to talk to someone better. So everything is they're talking the human sense. So how to do better with some other party is how well that you can convince the other party. So convincing is all about personal communication, and it starts with personal selling. So when you have, before you try to convince somebody over the phone, why not you try to meet somebody and try to convince somebody? And if you can convince somebody by meeting physically, then you will be able to convince somebody over the phone. But you can't convince over the phone when you have not seen the person and you don't know what the person is and what you don't know the background of the person. You can't do that. So my advice is always that whatever the profession that you want to be, maybe IT professional, maybe finance. Nowadays, I invite finance professionals or the accountants or so-called business managers in finance. Please come out. Let's go and meet. Let's go and meet the channels. Let's go and meet the customers. Let's try to check their pulse. You will realize then how do they think? Not only the way that we think. So let's try to adapt. So this adaptation is another new term that we came with this new normal situation after COVID. We have to adapt to situations. So you have to understand their pulse as well. So sales helps you for all these requirements. To understand the customer, check their pulse, for adaptation, to develop products according to their needs, to avoid marketing myopia. I have done some videos on the Sales Coach channel. Avoid marketing myopia. So all these things starts from there. So my advice, you ask me, first thing, just take it up. Do it for a little time. If you are interested, go there, because sales is the highest paid, I would say, the profession that you have. There is no limit. Your best highest salaries is no. Worldwide, your openings are such. So please go and experience it. Be a professional in it. Don't be just a salesman. I always say, don't be a glorious salesperson for 20 years. Please go, climb in the ladder, go into the sales management. Your earnings will be unlimited. That is what you want, your ultimate goal should be. And it is a profession that you can rely on.
I think a lot of things you have told to this younger generation. It's a very valuable ideas. Thanking again this question you answered. Next one. Why did you think to launch a YouTube channel? What's the story behind it?
Something it's like this. It's also an ad hoc situation. Due to COVID, like I told you earlier, there was a lockdown and you were not in the normal day-to-day schedules, and at a point that you get disappointed, wasting time, you're not doing anything productive. So other than some of my assignment work that I had to do, so rest of the time I was just thinking. Then this online lecturing also started, and for the fun of it, I had never recorded my lectures by myself in a classroom. So I thought, why not I try to record myself, just for fun of it. So I was doing my online lectures on the computer screen, and I just fixed a camera in a side and I just recorded my own lecture. And then I shared it on social media, on my Facebook and other social media, including LinkedIn. So I just small clips, I just shared, and all those clips are lessons. And I got a good response, I would say. I got a lot of calls, response, my students, existing students, the new students, the professionals who are working in sales and marketing, who are working in other departments, not in sales, other departments. So they complimented and they said that they learned something, it is good, and they were appreciating. So like I told you earlier, more than what I expected, the response was good. So then I thought, why not I do a direct record of small lessons, and that is how, because I didn't have a YouTube channel, I just used my social media, and then I put this into the YouTube also as small lessons, and I got a good response once again. Then I thought, why not I record? So then I started. I have many lessons going on now. Sales management fundamentals is one series of lessons. Salesmanship is one series of lessons. Recruitment and selection, how to recruit, so HR based sales management, sales manager, but it's HR specific, human resource management. So recruitment, selection and placing people, that is another series of lessons. So sales management fundamentals like forecasting, budgeting, how do you do scientific budgeting, how do you do your calculations, right? So that kind of, so in future I'm going to plan finance for non-finance element also there, to understand finance element, how to do P&L of your distributors, how to do your profit analysis, cash flow analysis, or otherwise you can say your ROI, return on investment analysis, costing. So I'm just planning on that. So likewise, I'm just trying to go into expand in terms of knowledge for those sales managers, salesmen who want to learn whilst they are working or whilst on the move or in their leisure time, rather than wasting time like I told you. You told me earlier, viral marketing, unwanted content. Why not you listen something that will help you and create a need, importance within you to study and take a certificate. Because my advice always is, please have a certificate. Your experience only is not going to help you. You have to have your qualifications in place. So that for that you need to have a need within you. So that need has to come in within. So I'm trying to influence, motivate, stimulate this particular fraternity, the sales guys, non-sales guys, my students to be future, all sales and marketing professionals, non-sales and marketing who are willing to learn sales and marketing. So all these guys can have a understanding, the basic fundamental foundation, and then think of getting your qualifications in place. But if I say qualifications will do everything, that is also not. You have to get your experience, you have to get your qualifications, and you have to do the right things. You have to do the right things, love what you do what you love. So you have to say what you love.
Fine. Okay. So finally, what is your future plans? Give me some short answer for that one also.
My future plan is continue on this same field. I want to do the best to the society. So I'm just getting into my doctoral studies as well. So I want to be a professional person who can coach, guide people, and I'm finding some other ways of reaching to my clientele, my customers, my students, and help them to build themselves. So as long as if I can contribute something for them, for their building, I'll be happy. That is the same happiness that I have today. Wherever I go, I meet a student. I came to this place today, how many students I got to know today. And I'm so happy when they are happy of what they have reached. So I want to do that continuously.
I'm also one of them. We met many of our friends here who those are your students.
Yes, you're right, Samit.
Thank you for your time with us today for your celebration of 12th year lecturing profession and launching of your Neville Pereira the Sales Coach YouTube channel, and we look forward more insightful information for the students and sales and marketing fraternity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Samit, and also the team from the Event TV for allowing us to participate in this program, and we thank you very much.